Hello, ladies. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the MLB, or Major League Baseball. And it has nothing to do with specific games or anything. It's just when it comes to Major League Baseball, they got it down with the whole streaming services and whatever. I mean, not exactly, because sometimes I don't get a current game or whatever. But it is a lot easier than it used to be. Like, you had to pay, like, certain subscriptions just to get even, like, a quarter of an ad from the real game. You know, like, just an ad, straight up ad, just to see, because they would take it so harsh. And NBA, they have their dark times, so there's that. But the only problem I really see with the MLB right now is just finding a place where it's like, they know there's a current game going on, streaming service. Like, the streaming services, they got it down. It's the problem of getting people to find it. Because the only way you can really find it is their number one problem, which is having a star player. Not just for one team or for the whole league. I mean, like, having a star player for each single team. So that way when you think of that team, at least in that season, you think of that specific player. You think of that player who's like the best player, who's like the Michael Jordan or something of baseball. Ironically enough, Michael Jordan was in baseball for like one season, I think. But anyway, yeah, the only barrier to entry when it comes to baseball, at least in the form of streaming services or whatever, you need to have, like, for each team, you need to have, like, somebody who can bring in tickets. It doesn't matter what team it is, as long as they have, like, that one star, and then maybe an up-and-coming star in that team, you know, for whenever that bigger star ends their contract or something, if they're close to it or whatever. Then yeah, baseball can continue like that. Like, the only issue they have is actually finding players that are, like, really, really good at baseball. Not just good at baseball, but are also, like, becoming, like, really, really famous. Besides that one Japanese guy from that one team, there's not a lot they can do for the MLB, at least at the moment, for the 2025 season. And there's not a lot I can say, since I am a Detroit Tigers fan. Now, it's not to say I hate all the other teams or something like that. I'm just being honest. Like, it's kind of hard to find their games sometimes, you know. But I do check on Google for the results of what the numbers are against this team or that team. We did lose to I think it was Toronto Blue Jays? I'm not sure. I don't remember. There's a whole bunch of teams that I wasn't even aware existed until recently. Either because they probably changed their name or recently joined the league. I don't know. It just is what it is, okay? Major League Baseball is not necessarily a national league. It just has the major part in it because it's majorly big. I don't know. I don't know what it means when they have the word major in a sport. I just know that it's supposed to mean something big. I don't know. But the most accessible sport that I can say is accessible in the U.S. is the NFL, at least in terms of leagues. Because one, you can play that game pretty much anywhere as long as you have at least some space. Two, it's just more culturally ingrained in the U.S. It's just U.S. culture in general. Like, it's our own version of rugby. A variant, as some people would say. And then three, just streaming services in general. Like, yeah, you might not be able to access, like, that one specific game or something. But most of the time, it's like you could just turn on to a channel or turn on to like your basic channel for that team if you want to go for that team. Like the only time you really have to pay is for like a specific team, and then the Super Bowl is basically free because it's the Super Bowl. Like it's the one time where, unlike other sports where it's like only between those two fan bases when they have their biggest game, and it's like the biggest beef they'll have until the off season ends after whoever wins that specific game of that sport. In the NFL, in American football or gridiron football, if you win the Super Bowl, half the league is cheering for you and half the league is booing you. Like that's just how it's gonna be, because it's like it's the game to be at, and so all the other fan bases and all the other teams, like since it's the biggest sport and it's the league to be in when it comes to sports in America or USA, in my home country, you have got to be like they have to watch it, because who knows, maybe next season they'll be in the next Super Bowl. Like that's why it's so big, you know? Because what if my team makes it to the next Super Bowl next year? You know, it's like that kind of mentality. So they watch to make notes for just in case if they have to go against one of those teams or a similar team like that and things like that. Whereas the MLB, I don't really know besides the Detroit Tigers and like a couple of team members. You know, like it's not like it fell off or anything. Like it really is swinging back in popularity. It's just the only thing is they don't have any like current star players. Like they don't have any Babe Ruths or something. Like they don't have any like that guy from that team kind of player, if you know what I mean. Like he's that one guy who started off really sucky, didn't play super well, and then every single year, every single season he played professionally after his losingest year or something, he just went world record winning. He was the best of the best in the league, and nobody can deny it type stuff. Like, they don't really have that recently. They might have had that in, like, the 2000s, but they didn't really have that in the 2010s, and they have yet to come that within the decade I'm releasing this in, which is the year that this video was released on. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, I guess I gotta end this video so it can actually get posted. So, yeah, see you later, and just remember, stay ugly.